it. So if you know the words, feel free to join in. Inhale for Om. Ho. Vande Guru Nam Charanara Vinde Samdara Shita Svatma Sukhava Bodhe Nishreyase Jangalikaya Mane Samsara Hala Hala Moha Shantiye Abahu Purushakaram Shankha Chakrasi Dharinam Sahasra Shirasam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Oh. Connecting to the Ujjayi breath. And we'll move with the breathing. Take it slow. As you inhale, the eyes open, and exhale, the hands down. Surya Namaskara A. Ekam. 1. Inhale, the hands up, look up to your thumb. Dve. 2. Exhale. Always easy, especially if you're just starting out your movement practice for the day. Trini. 3. Inhale the head up. And also feel the weight moving forward. You can keep the hands a little forward of the feet. Chatwari. Exhale. You can always start easy. The high and low plank, you can go all the way down, which is good practice because you can then activate your legs. Hips pushing down, legs are working. That way, when you inhale for the upward dog, you're able to feel the support. The support at the back is in the legs. You can always work with it until you get it the way you want it. Inhaling. Shot. 6. Exhale. The downward facing dog. Here, you can organize the hands. Usually we say about shoulder width. Use your fingers. You can organize the feet about sitting bone width. And you can spread out the toes and just work with it. The idea is that you're easing into the body as you breathe. That's 3. 4. 5. Exhale to look front. Raise the heels and we'll tiptoe forward. This is called the elephant walk. And you want to take many steps, feeling the weight shift into the arm foundation. Really important that you get that feeling. At the top of the mat, inhale, eventually halfway lift. Ashta. 8. Exhale the fold. Press your heels. Nawa. Inhale. Use your legs as you raise up, look up to your thumb. And Sama Stiti. Exhale. So always finding the neutral position here. Careful not to overextend. Ekam. 1. Inhale the arms up, but keep the back straight. Dve. 2. Exhale the fold. Nice and easy. If it feels lighter, you can start taking the hands away. It's okay. The head moves all the way in. Trini. 3. Inhale the head up. And you want to feel the weight moving forward. The shoulder stays over the hand. Chatwari, when you step back or jump back, organize a high plank where you find neutral, then pressing low. Pancha. 5. Inhale. In the upward dog, the legs are always active, supporting the spine. Shot. Exhale the downward dog. And take a moment. We're here for 5 breaths, so it's okay to work with it. Try to feel how the breath moves into the back of the heart. The classic drishti is down to the navel, but sometimes looking to the navel drishti is not appropriate. So you can look between the feet or the knees. That's 3. 4. And 5. Exhale to look front. Sapta. 7. As you walk the elephant forward. Now, as you feel the weight move into the arms, eventually you may need to lift the heel of the hand. It's okay. You might even need to walk your hands up the legs. Do your best, inhaling. Ashta. 8. Exhale the fold. Nawa. 9. Inhale, ride the breath, look up. And Samastiti. One more of the A series. A, come, inhale. Dve. exhale. Trini, inhale, feel the weight move forward. If you want to jump back, you bend the knees, shifting onto the arm foundation and jumping the length of your body, high and low plank. Punch, inhale, look to the nose. Shot, exhale, look to the navel and collecting 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4. Finishing your exhale, raise the heels, look forward. Now there's a rocking movement here. See how my knees are bended, the heels are lifted, the hips rock back. Then, like a frog, we're going to hop forward, inhaling the halfway lift. Ashto, 8, exhale to fold. Nawa, 9, inhale, the hands up. Samastiti, exhale. I mentioned last week, but it's always good to repeat that the jumping is optional and you may choose to step. And to be honest with you, often I will tend to step, especially if it's early in the morning and I don't want to wake anyone up with my jump backs. The B series, bend the knees. A, come 1, inhale. Dre, 2, exhale from the hip, then straighten. Trini, 3, inhale the head up. Now, if you are jumping, feel the weight, well, for all of us, feel the weight move forward into the arms. The knees can bend and you can work on your little hop here. So like a froggy, you hop and land lightly, organizing your plank. Punch, inhale, upward dog. Shot, exhale, downward dog. Still exhaling, step the right foot forward. And you'll notice that by coming onto the fingertips, it's a little easier. So it feels like you're able to stride forward. Inhale, like a warrior, arms up. Ashto, exhale, like you're swimming. Shoulder over hand, and an easy transition through. Nawa, inhale. Bisha, exhale. Still exhaling. Step in the left foot. Then inhale. Dwa, Bisha, exhale. Triad, Bisha, inhale, look to the nose. Chaturdasha, exhale, the 14th Vinyasa. And here you stay for the 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To look front, rock back, Panchadasha, jump. Inhale, Shodasha, exhale. Bend your knees, Saptadasha, inhale. Samastiti. Come inhaling. Dve, exhale. Trini, inhale. And Chatwari, exhale. Punch, inhale. Shot, exhale. Sapta, right foot. Inhale. Ashta, exhale. Nawa, inhaling. Dasha, exhale. Ekadasha, left foot. Inhale. Dvadasha, exhale. Trayodasha, inhale. Chaturdasha, exhale. Catch the breath. 1. Focusing on the exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Panchadasha jump. Inhale. Shodasha. Exhale. Bend your knees. Saptadasha. Inhale. Samasthiti. One more. Yekam. Inhale. Dve. Exhale. Trini. Inhale. Chatwari. Jump back. Panch. Inhale. Shot. Exhale. Sapta. Right foot. Inhale. Ashto. Exhale. Nawa. Inhale. Dasha. Exhale. Ekadasha. Left foot. Inhale. Dvadasha. Exhale. Trayodasha. Inhale. Chaturdasha. Exhale. One, two, three, four, five. Panchadasha jump. Inhale. Shodasha. Exhale. Bend your knee. Saptadasha. Inhale. Samasthiti. The standing series. Separate the feet 30 centimeters, catching the big toe. Padangusthasana. Come one. Inhale. When you look up, pull up. Dve. Exhale. Begin the fold. My best advice is to take it easy here. Use each breath as a way to work into your position. One, you want to feel the hip joint deepening. Two, the rib cage moves in. Three, the head all the way between the knee. Four, five. Trini, inhale the head up. Exhale, the hand all the way under the foot. You want to be wrist deep, Padahastasana. Come inhale the head up, look up. Dve, exhale the fold, bend the elbows out and try to fold the head all the way in. One. Look to the nose, Drishti. Two, three. Just gradually working into it. Four, five. Trini, inhale the halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the hinge. Use your legs when you inhale to stand. And Samasthiti, close your feet. Trikonasana, come one, inhale. Open the length of your inseam. So not too wide here with the feet, just wide enough. Turning the right foot out, begin to lever to the right side. Dve, when you exhale, start easy. The easy position's great because you can keep your spine alignment, inhale, and your breath, exhale. And perhaps you're able to start picking up a bit more space. One, eventually you'll look to that thumb. Two, if you are holding the big toe, keep pulling up on the toe. Three, four, five. Exhale to look down. Trini, three, inhale, stand and turn. Left side, Chatwari, exhale. So using all five breaths, the beginning position is not where you finish. One, always working on your alignment. Two, three, never perfect, but we can continue refining. Four, and five. Exhale, look down. Punch, inhale, stand, and turn square with your right leg. I will turn slightly so you can see me. Try to keep your hips square to the right side. Do your best to prepare your legs, inhaling. Dve, exhale. When you go forward, it's okay for the right knee to bend. As you move down, put that left hand or fingers on the mat and push away the mat. So you're pushing away. Now, over time, you can walk the hand across the midline and keep twisting your left shoulder under the right as you breathe. One, two, three, four, five. Exhale to look down. Trini, inhale, stand and turn for your left side. Take a moment to prepare, inhaling. Chatwari, exhale. About halfway, then the twist, working that right shoulder under the left. One. Imagine it's your rib cage that rotates. Two. Eventually, you can spin the head all the way up to the ceiling. Four. And five. Punch, inhale to stand. Turn the feet all the way. Sama, Sthiti. Close the feet. Parshva Konasana. Ekam, inhale, the feet wider in the side ankle pose. Right foot turned out. Dve, exhale. Bending the right leg 90 degrees. This is a process. That hip is going lower. Meanwhile, the left arm is up and over. Here, we make the 45-degree angle, and you're trying to feel the rib cage pull in. Do your best. One. So we're getting low on the right hip. Two. But that left side continues to lift and ascend. Three. Four. Five. Trini, inhale to stand and turn. Left side, Chatwari, exhale. Getting low on the left. The right arm is up and over. Looking up the seam of the arm toward the hand. One. Two. Three. Four. Five. Punch, inhale, stand and turn for B. Now, it's okay to keep the left heel raised. Make your leg long enough, though, that you can get nice and low here, this 90-degree angle. Inhaling. Dve, exhale. When you twist, hook the left elbow. You can start with a prayer. The elbows are flaring wide. This way you're able to work more on your rotation, moving left under right shoulder. One. And as you relax, you might be able to ratchet a little deeper. Two. It may be possible to put the arm on the floor. Three. Four. Five. Trini, push off your left foot to stand and turn for the left side. Prepare. Chatwari, exhale slowly. The twisting movement. Once you hook up, twist and look up for the 5 breaths. One. Two. Continue to work deeper into the pose. Three. Four. Five. Punch, inhale to stand. Sama, Sthiti, jump. Prasarita Padottanasana. Come one, inhale. Open wide the feet. This time they're turning in slightly, the pigeon's toe. Dve, exhale. From the hinge forward, place the hands between the feet. Inhale to look up. Then Trini, bend the elbows straight back. That way you're able to press down through the head. And we're gradually working the head between the feet. And look to the nose, Drishti. One. Two. You can always bend the knees for hip flexion. Three. And you can even work one leg at a time straight. Four. Five. Chatwari, inhale the halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the hinge. Punch, inhale, stand. B, check for your neutral pelvis position, the ribs. A, come one, inhale the shoulders, arms wide. Dve, exhale the hands to the hinge. Inhale, elbows back. This makes a frame for your shoulder. head back as well. Trini, exhale to fold. So from the hinge, and you can feel this with your fingertips, you want to squeeze your rib cage in a bit more. And then you can use that extra squeeze to maybe put your head on the floor, the coconut on the floor as you breathe. 2, looking to the nose, Drishti. 3, 4, 5. Chatwari, inhale, squeeze your legs all the way up, hopefully to neutral. C, Ekam 1, inhaling. Dve, exhale, interlace your fingers. Remember your options. You can roll the arms back so you have the external rotation, or for some of you, pushing the palms away for internal rotation. Inhaling. Trini, exhale to fold. And take your time. You're using the same method as the last pose. You're trying to work hip flexion, the ribs flex. If you can press the head against the floor, it will give you greater leverage on the shoulder extension as you breathe. 3, looking to the nose, Drishti. 4, 5, Chatwari, inhale all the way up to standing. And D, exhale, hands to the hips. A, come 1, inhale. If you need to scoot the feet in a bit, it's okay. Dve, exhale, slide down and pick up the big toe. Inhale, pulling up with the toes pressing down. Then Trini, bend the arms. So you're using your biceps, you're using your pulling muscles, the latissimus, as you breathe. 3, 4, 5. Chatwari, inhale, the halfway lift. Exhale, hands to your hinge. Punch, inhale to stand. Samasthiti. Parshvottanasana, moving the arms back, internal shoulder rotation. Now, depending on your range of motion, clasping the arms behind is a good starting point. Some of you might move toward the prayer position. Separating the feet, inseam lift apart, and square with your right foot. Parshvottanasana. A, come 1, inhale, prepare. Dve, exhale to fold. Folding, you maintain your frame. So the chest is a little lifted. If you're able to feel how you're actually lifting against your arms, then the weight of the arms will give you greater leverage as you breathe. 3, 4, 5. Trini, inhale, stand and turn left side. Prepare with your inhale and you refine that upper body. Chatwari, exhale to fold. And I really appreciate this type of posture that really challenges us to continue refining the alignment. There's so many moving pieces here, but that's okay. It gives you something to focus on as you breathe deeply. 3, 4, 5. Punch, inhale to stand. Spread the arms. Samasthiti. Exhale. So that completes the review of the first week lesson, the fundamental asanas. And I mentioned that these are always the same, whether you're doing first or second, whatever series, you would always do these fundamental standing postures. Now moving into the balancing series, which is very functional if you're experiencing slippery ground outside. So we're able to get that compensation movement through the foot as we balance here. So we'll try to keep it together. Uttita Hasta Padangusthasana. Maybe you're nearby the wall, and a few of you know my many tricks to balance using the wall, but I'll try just here in the center. Ekam, 1, inhale the right knee up, and when you move the knee up, take your time. Left leg strong, that butt really engaging. And squeeze your body, hold the toe if possible, and eye level is the sweet spot. Dve, exhale. Continue your hinge while you pull. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Trini, inhale. Stand tall so the foot does go a little down. Then Chatwari to swing it open. Rotate the thigh out. Then bend the elbow and you can bring the foot back up to ear level as you breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, swing the leg center. With the exhale, pull up one more time to touch. Then Sapta, inhale, stand and squeeze your waist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Samastitihi. And remember, don't make a scary face. You have to keep that pleasant face throughout. Left side, Ashto, as you inhale that left leg up and take your time. Feel the leg bone into the hip joint. Hold the big toe when available and Nawa, exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dasha, inhale the head up. So the foot goes a little down, then you swing it open. Then you can bring it back up as you breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dvadasha, inhale the leg center. Trayodasha, exhale, touch. Chaturasha, inhale the head up and then balance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Samastitihi. Uttita Hasta Padangusthasana. It will never become easy, only more familiar. Ardha Baddha, for this one, we're working the right hip external rotation. Now, we can always let's just start together with the tree pose, where you slide the right foot up. Now, when you're in the tree pose, the right hip is externally rotated. You can stay here. If you want to try the next layer, the Hawaiian squat, for this one, the right foot is on top of the left thigh, and then you work on bending the left knee. So you're hinging slightly to feel the pressure in the hip. Think pigeon pose, so just like a pigeon stretch. Now, if you want to try the lotus, some of you are quite familiar, it's the same movement. The hip continues to externally rotate and abduct, and then you're able to get that lotus shape. If you're continuing, you can fold forward. We'll collect 5 breaths here. 1, if all is comfortable, the right hand can bind. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, halfway lift. Bend the standing leg. So you have some bounce. When you inhale, you can bounce up to stand. Samastiti. Left side, Ashto. You can also be nearby the wall in this position. And remember your options. The tree, the half lotus. This is the Hawaiian squat position in which you're able to work into that hip, the outer hip around the deep rotators. And the knee should always be happy. So you have a stable position here, no twisting or torquing of the knee position. If you're happy with your lotus, it's the same type of movement. It's just a larger range of motion. Deep breathing, this 3, 4, and 5. Inhale the halfway lift. Get your balance, bend that standing knee a little, then with the inhale, we'll stand, and Sama Sthiti. So that pose is a long-term project for many of us, and remember just to work on your options, or skip it completely. As I mentioned in many beginners classes, I will omit that pose. So Utkatasana, which I will never omit, the chair pose. We'll begin in the Vinyasa, so starting in Samasthiti. Utkatasana. Ekam, inhale, hands up, just like a sun salutation. Dve, exhale to fold. Hopefully much more flexible now. Trini, inhale the head up and shift the weight forward. Notice the hands move forward of the feet. That way, when you get ready to jump back, you're already moving in the right direction. It's not very far, actually. And do your vinyasa. Punch, inhale. Shot, exhale. Then Utkatasana, Sapta step, or jump forward. Immediately the knees bend and you're in your chair pose. Now, some of you have great ankle, lower body range of motion, and you can get all the way down into your squat. Now, eventually you want to have the hip just above the knee. Imagine you could roll a ball down and the arms go up. If you're a little tight, the hands might need to be apart. You can start moving the head back. Now, depending on your range of motion, some can slide the head all the way back. For others, it's better to keep neutral. As you're breathing, 3, 4, and 5. On the exhale, keep the knees bended. So we lower the center of gravity and the hands move forward about 30 centimeters. We're going to try 3 different phases here. Phase 1, the frog stand. And I'll show you in the front. The knees can open up and the heels can lift up. So you see the frog position. And then what you do is you shift the weight onto the arms. 90-degree angle. The head can even touch the floor, so you're able to get the feet up. So you can work on the frog stand, and your arms are to the inner thigh, which is a little different than the crow. If you're not comfortable shifting all the way onto the arms, don't worry about it. Some of you can hold the frog with the head up and the feet up, and then down. Whew. Phase 2 is the crow itself. For this one, the knee is higher up on the arm, and you're also squeezing more inside. With the inhale, hands are 30 centimeters forward, and you send the weight forward to the crow. If you're not sure about doing the crow, you can go ahead and try. Then you can always work on the one-legged position, lifting 1 foot at a time, heel to the butt. And this will not be any easier. And then down. Then phase 3 is the hopping transition. And here you're unsupported, so there's no connection. The hands are about 30 centimeters forward, and you rock forward and up to balance. That may not be possible. Shoulder over the hand, hip over the shoulder, and you're able to balance. So you can give that a shot. When you're ready to inhale, rock forward and the hips up and then down again. That may be difficult, but let's try from Utkatasana. So one more time, sit in your Utkata. It's the chair, so it feels quite comfortable to have a seat. Now inhale the arms up and breathe. 1. Oh, we're doing it again. 2. Sorry about that. 3. 4. 5. Remember your options. Keep the knees bended. Ashta. Inhale to lift up. And Nawa. Try to jump back. The Vinyasa. Disha. Inhaling. Ekadisha. Exhale. Virabhadrasana. Step the right foot between the hands and we'll come up to stand in the warrior. So I know it's vigorous. You're working on eventually bending that right leg 90 degrees. This will be a process. Meanwhile, the left hip, show you from this side, the left hip is also driving forward. So you have a sense of energy coming from the hip rather than overstretching. So you can squeeze the legs like scissors and the arms up as you breathe. 1, the head moving back. 2, remember that right leg is on a journey, getting that hip low. 3, left leg is strong. 4, 5, Ashto, inhale, stand and turn left side. So we'll start again, driving through that right hip as you breathe. One, feel the energy of the legs. Two, and the head's gradually moving back. Three, powerful. Four, five. Now I inhale, opens the arms out, shoulder height. For the B position, the hips also neutral. Keep working your left knee out so you have a sense of the outer leg work. Ribs neutral, the arms, even the head. Keep feeling out your body line. Three, four, five. Visha, inhale, stand and turn for the right side. And we'll collect 5 more breaths. One, two, three, four, five. For your transition, and feel free just to take a rest here. I'll give you a couple of options for this one. 3 options for this. The mountain climber, which is maybe a familiar move for you, the mountain climber, or a one-legged crow, I'll show you. Or there's an up position, which is like preparing your handstand. So part 1 is the mountain climber, and you can always just try this with me. You want to, from your warrior pose, you want to put both hands either side of the right foot and squeeze the knee in. So you can bring that knee in like a mountain climber and you squeeze, squeeze, and then you just jump back from there. That's a great way to prepare your practice, and you can do both sides as well. If you want to do the crow pose, a lot of this is getting the leverage of the movement. We have to send the body weight forward in order to get the leg up. I'll show you. So the hands, once again, 30 centimeters, and then that right knee will bend onto the right arm here. So the elbow a little bended, the knee up high. And if you feel ready, then you tilt the center of gravity forward, and that will lift the back leg. So you get the single-legged crow. If you want to try that one, I can talk you through again. So the hands are forward about 30 centimeters, the right knee bend, and then you send the weight onto the arms. Inhale up, and exhale, you can come down. Okay, the third is the lifting option. And for this one, the arms continue to push away the floor. So it'll go from this position overhead to here. Now, in your pushing movement, the center of gravity will go forward, and we're going to practice kicking up like a handstand. So the hands are 30 centimeters forward, but the elbows are straight. You rock forward and up, and then you can come down. Another great tip in this is to squeeze the foot into the thigh. So kind of like you're doing that tree pose, you pull it in, okay? So let's try. We have 3 options. You can mountain climber, one-legged crow, or you can do the handstand press. Let's start in that warrior 2 again. So warrior B, Virabhadrasana B, the arms level, yeah? Sorry to make you do it again as you breathe. 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, hands forward, then Ekadasha, yogi's choice. Inhale, lift up, and Dwadasha to jump back. The Vinyasa. Trayotdasha, inhale. Chaturdasha, exhale. Now we're going to come back to the standing position. Panchadasha, you can step or jump, inhaling. And Shodasha, exhale to fold. Samastiti, inhale and exhale. Good. So you will have some things to work on. Now we're going to work on making our transition through to seated. So one of the, I think, most symbolic aspects of Ashtanga is the jump through and the jump back. And we've already began the initial work on that by practicing our arm balancing. We're learning to move from our feet foundation onto the arms foundation. And for many of us, this is completely new, right? We didn't grow up handstanding or doing gymnastics. So it's quite new for us. But with some practice and working on the techniques, we'll pick it up. So first things first is the functional vinyasa. This is what we'll try, everyone. All you're going to do from standing is cross one foot over the other and have a seat. Hopefully you did that without breaking your knee off or something like that. And then stand back up. Hopefully you have your return ticket. And then the other side, one foot over the other and have a seat. And then stand back up again. So you may have or may have not been able to perform this without using your hands. It's okay. It's something that does require practice, but you can get there. So we're going to try it now with the hands assist. Same thing, you cross one foot over the other, and then all you do is put the hands down. And this is probably more how you're used to sitting down. And then you can have a seat from there. But you want to stand back up again. So you put the hands down, show you from the side, and you can give yourself a little push up to standing. Now, if this is hurting your knee or something is not right, you don't have to do it. We'll try the other side. So one foot over the other foot on top. And then when you go down, you can use your hands, and then you're able to control your movement to have a seat. So this is actually the essence of the vinyasa, changing of the movement from the arms to the foot foundation. We'll put that all together in a flow, and hopefully this will make sense for you. So go ahead and use both hands again. You rock forward. Feel how the hips go up, so that little lift, and then you're right back up to standing. Feel free to practice this in your non-yoga hours. Let's stand in Samastiti. Once again, feel the body is organized along the neutral axis. And we're going to make our way to the seated series. Ekam, one, inhale the arms up, look up. Dve, exhale to fold all the way in. Trini, inhale the head up and look up, feel the weight shifting forward. Chatwari, step one, jump back. And the Vinyasa, punch, inhale, upward dog. Shat, exhale, downward dog. Then Sapta, we're going to step forward. Now, just like we just practiced, you can cross the feet about 30 centimeters behind the hands, and then all you need to do is have a seat with control. For your next trick, you're going to work on stretching the feet forward and eventually through the arms. I'm going to lower my camera. We are having so much fun already. Yoga. Stretching the legs out front. The first seated posture is Dandasana. Now, if you are tight in the leg, and tight doesn't have to be a bad thing. Many athletes are naturally tight. And what I mean by is that you don't have 90 degrees range of motion. Here's how you can test 90 degrees. If you lie down, everyone can lie down, and take your leg up one at a time. If your leg has 90-degree range of motion here, then you can probably sit with the knees straight. If you're not there, if you're like here, then you'll want to bend the knee or sit on something in order to get the pelvis to tilt forward. And feel free to test that on both legs. Now, of course, you can gain this test by improving your range of motion. And then we'll work on that at the end here with our single leg raises. So first things first, we'll do Dandasana, sitting with the legs out front. If you were less than 90 degrees, then try this. The hands push into the thigh, or even if you're flexible, try this. Push down. Then the heels push down, and then the knees will lift up a little. This will bring you up onto your sitting bone, and it should help you to get the pelvis to 90 degrees. That's what we're after here. Or you sit on something. You get the blanket and sit on the edge. Or if you did have 90 degrees and you're comfortable, then stretching the legs out long. You can point the toes, or you can flex the toe. Yogi's choice. The main thing is that you feel your feet are active and involved in your foundation. The hands are also involved, so the hands are pressing down. If you're tight in the arms, then keep your fingertips down. Look into your navel, and you can even see the bandha. So the inhaling moves the navel inward and upward. And when you exhale, you can feel you're able to settle and relax deep into your foundation. Dandasana, the stick pose. Paschimottanasana. So angle forward, catching the big toe. Remember, the knees can be bended as needed, so the heels are pushing down. Inhaling, the halfway lift. Now, in this position, we're going slow. When you exhale, begin with your hinging movement from the hip. Then feel the ribs rotating or tilting forward. And take your time with this. Eventually, what happens is the ribs start to rest more on your thigh, and the head also folds in. So the head moves down between the knees. But this is all a gradual process. And make sure you can always breathe. 3, 4, and 5. Visha, inhale the halfway lift again. And exhale. We're going to work on our lifting movement. So keep the trunk angled forward like so. We don't want to be leaning back in this. And when I say lift, I don't mean to lift like so. We want to be hinging forward, angling forward. The hands are just behind the knee. So when we press down, we can lift up through the seat and exhale down. That's tough. And that's where usually we're putting the yoga blocks under and then lifting up from there. It's okay. Let's do another one. Paschimottanasana B. Catching the outer edge of the foot, or if you're flexible, you can even lock your wrist. Inhaling. Now we'll exhale. Once more, we move from the hinge. The ribs fold in, the head also, and 5 deep breaths. 2. The drishti is down to the feet, so you can see how you're shaping the feet. 3, 4, and 5. Now I inhale the halfway lift and exhale. We're going to add the vinyasa, but let's go stage by stage. First things first, we're going to practice the lift. The hands are just behind the knee, and keep your torso forward. Inhale, push down and lift up. Stage 2, if you can, lean back so the feet lift. And then continue crossing your ankles. So cross your legs and keep the knees lifted up and in. So everything is in nice and tight. Now we're going to try the pass. This phase is always the hurdle. So we're going to work on our pass. The hands are right where they were, just to make sure you have the idea. You lift up, so try to lift up, then try to walk your feet, pass through the hands, and then you'll do the vinyasa. As you organize the high and low plank, that's stability. Inhale, upward facing dog, where you're resetting the spinal alignment. Exhale, the downward dog. And then we pass through the hands again. Sapta, as you step forward, the feet cross, keep pushing away the floor. And then gradually you'll pass through the hands. And when I say gradually, I mean over weeks, years. Take the hands back 30 centimeters. For every pose, a counter pose. I tell you what, let's just take this one step by step so you have a really good foundation for Purvottanasana. Purvottada is the front line of the body. So let's measure the arm position first. Do it like this. If you just have your hands beside your hip, your sitting bone, put your elbow down. That spot where the elbow is, that's where the hand goes. So it's about 30 centimeters, or more importantly, it is the length of your arm bone, okay? And you'll start to get a feel, you'll know exactly where that is every time. When we're doing this movement, there's going to be a big stretch here at the front of the shoulder. In your anatomy book, this is going to be the anterior deltoid, and then the pectoralis minor, and that is usually a tight area. So this type of arm movement is limited on many people. So try to feel it here. Then the legs. Let's start to get the legs just by bending the knees. So you bend the knees up. The feet are just forward of where the knees are, okay? Now, we'll try this a few times. Go ahead and roll your shoulders back and down. Now, Move the knees forward. So the knees go forward and that raises your hips up. And you're trying to make your body flat like a table, even the head. So the head is back and you can come down. We'll do that a few times. You may need to adjust the hands a little bit. For example, if you are tight in the shoulders, you might turn the hand out a little bit or even wider on your mat. And we'll try that movement. So you send the knees forward, the hips rise, and you want to try to keep the corset strong, the head back. Just catch your breath, big inhale, and then come down and we'll reset. We'll do that one more time. So reset, get everything working. The other thing to feel for is the glute engagement. So right under your gluteal fold here, where your hamstring and your butt muscle meet, that's where you feel it a lot. So take a moment to prepare. Then Ashta, inhale, hips up, and try to squeeze your gluteal fold, the head back, catch your breath for 3, 2, 1, and then come down. All right, so that's a lot. Feel free to take a little rest here. And we're going to do the full Purvottanasana. Now, in this position, the heels are pressing down. The big toe aims toward the floor. Eventually, you might have your whole foot flat on the floor, but for most of us, it's not quite there. Think heels in the downward dog. You're moving toward that, but it may not reach the floor. Hey, I have good news. My neighbor cat just arrived. So Renata, we will have some, there he is. We will have some neighbor cat as well. So that's always nice. Hey, neighbor. So we were doing Purvottanasana. The toes are pointed, the heels are together, and you feel the inseam of the leg. Hands back 30 centimeters. And go ahead and roll the hips under a bit or tuck the hips under. Then Ashta, inhale to press up. And we'll stay this time. So the heels down. 1, try to bring the shoulder blades back. 2, see if you can gradually get more leg. 3, head back. 4, look to the nose. And 5, exhale, have a seat and cross the feet. So preparing the vinyasa. And when you cross, so I say cross the feet, but actually you want to cross more up toward the knees. So very high up and bring your legs in as tight as you can here. This makes a big difference when passing through the arms. You know, many people will say, oh, my arms are too short, that kind of thing. So we need to make our arms a little bit longer by pushing away. And then we need to give a bit more space by squeezing the legs in the whole time. So hands are in the same spot that we practiced before. The legs are crossed and squeezed. Dasha, inhale, push down to lift up. Ekadasha, try to pass through the arms. And we'll continue our vinyasa. Take your time, high and low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Dvadasha, exhale, downward facing dog. Then Sapta, stepping through the hands or jumping through the hands, which in some ways is easier because you're able to use the momentum when jumping through. And we'll do one more primary asana today, Janu Shirshasana A, bending the right knee out 90 degrees. And when you're bending the leg out, just to show you this, the leg moves under its own power. So instead of using your hands, you use only the leg, and whatever that angle is, about 90 degrees, that is a good angle. Then this part is really key here. If you're able to rotate the right rib cage toward the left knee and try to feel that left femur bone pulling back into the hip joint. And the knee, of course, can be bended for this. But that feeling right there across the body is the essence of the entire primary series, that rotation and compression movement. Holding the foot as you inhale. Ashto, exhale to fold. Now we're moving from the hinge as we practiced. The ribs are moving down. The head is also moving toward the knee. If comfortable, you can always bind that left wrist as you breathe. 3, 4, and 5. Visha, inhale the halfway lift, then exhale. So that left foot will cross in front of the right. One of the questions I get sometimes is which leg do you cross on top? And it depends on the asana. So if you're trying to be movement efficient, you just cross from there and you're going to be ready for the vinyasa. So when you're ready, inhale, lift up. Ekadasha, you can pass through the hands, stepping, jumping back, or just wait and we'll be right back. As you move through your vinyasa, then sapta, stepping through, jumping through, and we'll bend the left knee out 90 degrees, rotating the left kidney toward the right knee. Feel that femur bone pulling in. Inhale, and Panchadasha, exhale. And you'll find that as you get the leg bone to stretch into the joint capsule itself, that you're able to pick up a much greater range of motion. And it doesn't require any muscle stretching, really. It's just about getting the alignment. But do your best to feel that out. And it is a process. That's 3, 4, and 5. Shotasha, inhale, the halfway lift. And we'll do the vinyasa. So that right foot will cross over, saptadasha up, ashtadasha, jump back. Take your time as you move through vinyasa. Each of these should feel like high quality movements, always refining and improving. And then sapta will step through to seated. Good. So we're going to sit the feet together for a moment, Baddha Konasana position, the bound angle. And we're going to move toward our finishing series, but I thought we can add a bit more hip work, working a bit more in our lotus shape. So in your bound angle pose, if you are a little tight, the feet may need to be more forward. If you're more flexible, you might be able to bring the feet in. One of the best tips in this pose is to work on how your pelvic position is. So you're trying to tilt the pelvis forward. Does that make sense? So you might sit on something by elevating the hips. Normally, we're able to get a bit more tilt forward. Or just like I'm using my hands, you can use your hands to assist in that tilting movement forward. Now, when you're doing it, it is a big time stretch around your SI joint and your pelvic muscles. So very important that you keep your mula bandha, keep your pelvic floor active. So you're using those muscles. And maybe the cue for that is to squeeze your feet together, to feel the knees lifting slightly, actually. Inhale and exhale. Just continue easing forward for 3, 4, and 5. With the inhale, we'll come all the way up. Now, we're going to stack the left foot on top of the right knee for a moment. This is the double pigeon stretch. Now, if your knee is way up or this pose is just not working for you, the substitute is the eye of the needle, in which I'm sure you've done this before. You lie on your back with your left foot in that figure 4 shape. And then this allows us to activate more along the external hip rotators, the piriformis, and the other rotators here. So you can do it on your back, or if you're able to do it seated upright, well, that's also great. You want to feel first the inner thigh, the gutter is being stretched. Then eventually you can walk forward. And what you'll notice in this pose is that by adding even more movement, adding some rotation, for example, the hands walking toward the right side, begins to add even more wind up, rotation in the hip. And breathe. We're using this as our yoga mudra pose. So we're just preparing our hips for eventually that full lotus posture. Well, all kinds of things that involve the hips, actually. As you breathe, that's 3, 4, and 5. And then with the inhale, we'll slowly come up and we'll do the other side. So if you're lying down, go ahead and put your right foot in that figure 4 shape. And you can continue your meaningful hip work here. Or if you're upright, the double pigeon pose, or sometimes the fire log pose, but you're trying to get a 90-degree angle there. So the shins are stacked. So you're not just crossing the legs in, but you have a stacked position. And then when you go forward, it should give you a great feeling of leverage along the outer hips. So the wind up toward the left side will add even more interest. And then send the breath directly into the hip. And you'll notice that by focusing on the normal interaction of your body and breath. So when you're inhaling, there's a very natural phenomenon in which the body increases pressure. So you're building. And when you exhale, you feel that release like a pressure release valve, and it feels like you can just melt deep into your hips. 2 more breaths. And then slowly, slowly, you can make your way up to seated. Now, if you would want to attempt the full lotus pose, you're almost there, really. If you're in this position, you can bring that right foot in and it snuggles right into that left hip joint. And then the left foot goes on top of that. This may not be possible. You might prefer a half lotus or the Sukha Asana, also excellent. We're going to sit with the palms up, the thumb and index finger together, and just take a moment to refine your alignment. The traditional drishti here is to the nose, but feel free just to close your eyes and you can enjoy your Padmasana. Reconnect with your Ujjayi breathing. When these postures become more strenuous, you'll notice that sometimes the breath will fall away. So do your best to remain mindful of the Ujjayi. The breath has sound. Right at the vocal cord is where we create that Ujjayi. The breath also has a feeling. Remember that when you're inhaling, the navel moves inward and upward. That is the feeling of the bandha. And when you exhale, it feels like you're just relaxing and settling deeper into your center. The breath also has a pacing. You might prefer a 4 count or a 5 count. It doesn't really matter, but just try to even out that breath. So, for example, just all together, inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4. Continue. Three more deep breaths here, please. And 10. Plutihi, the uprooted lotus. And I'll just show you without the legs in the lotus. If you're in the lotus, it's much easier, so stay there, enjoy yourself. If you're not in the lotus, then remember, cross up higher on your knee. It's just like you're practicing your jump back, so it's the same method. The hands are forward of the hips. So I mentioned last time, not back here, so we're not lifting like so. The hands are forward. And when you push down, there's a vacuum, so the hips come up like that. The arms here are pushing down into the floor, and your pelvic muscles are lifting up. We push down to lift up. We're doing 26 breaths. So one more for the new year. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, wow, I should have started in 2001. Well, here we are, 2026, ready for 26 deep breaths in Utplutihi. Prepare, Ashta. Dasha, inhale up and breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you can, lift a foot. 10, 11, maybe 2 feet. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. One more vinyasa. Disha up, ekadisha, jump back. We'll move all the way through. Take your time. Trayodisha, inhale, upward dog. Chaturdisha, exhale, downward dog. Panchadisha, we're returning to the standing position, please. Inhaling. Shodisha, exhale to fold. Samastiti, we'll inhale and stand in Samastiti. We'll close with a verse. Whoops, move my camera. So take a moment to organize your Samastiti. Catch your breath. I'm sure after 26 Utplutahi, you feel a little winded. And please, at the end of the practice, we will give away the fruits of the yoga. Much like when you're growing the fruits in your garden and you have so much to share, you can share with all of your neighbors, you can share with people far and wide. So let's share the fruits of our yoga today. And if you're not sure the words, you can just follow along. Please inhale for Om. Swasti prajabhya hari palayantam yayena margena mahim mahishaha go brahmanebhyaha shubhamastu nityam lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So, thank you very much. I will let you do the Shavasana off screen, off camera, but we do have a few minutes. If you have any questions or anything that's come up for you, if you want to jump in quickly while we're all together, feel free. You can even ask on the little typety type there. Let's see if anyone has asked anything. So, how did the practice go today? Any questions, anything standing out for you? Nice to see you all here. Ina, do you have a question? Yeah? Okay. Can you unmute your mic? Oh, wait, I think I can do it. Oh, no, I just asked you to do it.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, Ina.
Good morning, good afternoon already.
Goedemiddag.
I have a question. When I'm in the sun salutation, then when I'm standing, I feel I have pain in my left hip. And what can I do about it?
Well, when you have pain there, you can always try to explore movement pathways that decrease the pain. So sometimes you start to feel like, oh, I should do my leg more in or out. And that would be my recommendation, is to start to explore the movement pathways that feel pain-free, because pain is your body communicating that something's not right. Also, you may have, and I know your situation a little bit, and you're quite an athlete, and I know you're always in some training. So some of those things may be coming into your practice. And so you may need some extra recovery stuff, maybe some massage or trigger point work to work out if you do have some tight muscles or some inflamed muscle tissue or fascia there. So that would be my recommendation, to keep working with your body in such a way that you, well, hopefully the yoga is therapeutic, that the pain goes away.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Good luck. Success.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, guys. And you'll see. Appointment at 3:15, so Jenny is out. Ah, any other questions? Oh, look, you guys have a name now, Willem and Floor. So good. Yeah. Hi, Emily. Where are you joining from? You have to unmute. Sorry,
Okay.
where are you at?
Taipei, Taiwan.
In Taipei. Wow.
Yeah.
So nice to see you guys from all over. So many from Groningen this week. Represent. So cool. Okay, any last moment questions? Feel free. All right, you can send me an email, send me a WhatsApp. But it has been a pleasure seeing you guys in the classroom this week, both actually here in Groningen and to follow some of your progress on the online platform too. And that's been really great for me to see how it worked. So thank you so much. And you're welcome because I am happy to share with you too. Okay, I'm going to let you go then. Have a great Sunday and take rest, take your Shavasana, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
I'll send a link afterwards too if you want to rewatch the class.
Perfect.
Okay.
That was
Okay.
great.
Bye bye.